Mrs. She's repeating after
She's
me,
repeating
Lakshmi.
what you're saying.
Don't.
Yes.
She's repeating. She has gone in that zone. उसको guest उसको guest appearance में ला. मेरे को
हाँ,
2
best
मिनट
है.
लगेगा अभी.
Hi guys, welcome to LDFS. I'm Dr. Lakshmi. In today's podcast, we have a very special guest with us. He's not only my mentor, but he has more than 2 decade-long experience in dentistry. His journey from a general dentist to an implantologist is very inspiring. In today's discussion, we'll be discussing a lot of many things like the patient management, the treatment cost, how to become an implantologist, and a lot many things, which will be very inspiring. And trust me, you will get a lot of insights in today's podcast. A really warm welcome to Dr. Sameer Karavkar, sir. We are very happy to have you on our show, sir.
Hi, sir. Welcome to LDFS Podcast. Thank you for taking
Hi,
out time.
Lakshmi.
Hi, sir. Thank you for taking out time and having this conversation with us today.
My pleasure, Lakshmi. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, sir. So, sir, you have been running your practice for last 2 decades right now. And I would really want to know, how has the market changed? How has it shifted from what it was 2 decades back and now?
Yeah, it's been a great journey. I started with a sincerity. When you start early, you know the subject. You don't know the profession like a business. Okay. In those days, it was not taught also that well. So what was taught to us was the subject. So I learned the subject well, and I started my practice with a sincerity. So to be very frank, this sincerity has been the base of the practice. Beyond that, the things change around you, and you have to accommodate and take those changes along with you and learn the subject better, learn the patient management, the technology, the aesthetics, and everything about a dental setup better, and go step by step. Um, I have been doing it for now 18 to 20 years, and my personal this thing has been that I have taken small targets. Like in first
Okay.
year, I would, you know, do not. I always have a long-term goals, but along with that, I would have a small-term goals. So my first kind of a target would be that my appointments, should be full. I should have enough patients in my hand. When I started my practice, I only was going in the evening time, and started with one staff or something. And morning time, I was still working with the Dr. Samita Gandhi, who has been my mentor too, and working with her in the morning. So I have not taken the full steps. I have gone slowly. It's said that you should count 1000 days in your practice when you start, and don't worry too much about it. And with that sincerity in my mind, that I would someday achieve good name here, and all that is the same kind of a passion. So money has not been too much in the focus when I have started my practice. See, financials, everything comes little later. You said that it's a 2 decades time, so the times have also changed. Those days, you are not so much, the technology, the world around you is changing every 5 years. So that time I only had a sincerity that I have to treat every patient to my best potential, and give good care. Beyond that, I have not been thinking. Of course, with the time, all these other things have come, but let me be very frank with you. This particular aspect of profession has not changed. That you have to do the work with sincerity, with your best. This has not changed. So things have been going well. Of course,
Awesome.
all the fame and all the name, everything, whatever you get, ultimately you are here to serve. And that thing has been there. So it's going on. Yeah.
Awesome. So the 1,000 days idea is something which is very nice. I am here actually hearing it for the first time. So that's
Yeah.
something everybody can keep that target, that till 1,000 days we can continue, have some goal, and then assess how the clinic has performed in those 1,000 days, and maybe improve certain things and all those things. So that's great. That's great.
I'll,
That's
I'll tell you one story.
huh,
I'll tell
huh.
you one story.
Yes,
What
sir.
happened is, uh, I have been, see, we have seen Dr. Samida Gandhi, how
Yes.
professional she is, how sincere she is, how honest she is, how ethical she is. All that, you have seen.
And I have seen
Uh,
all those things with
the
you also,
mentor
sir,
of,
when I worked with you.
that's what. See what the best part, I'll tell you, in your life, if you get right people at right time. And I've been absolutely fortunate. So I started up my practice. There was no need, but my brother still told me that, Samir, you don't worry. In case you don't get, rent for that month, it's okay. I will pay for you. Because his elder brother is already started earning. I said, okay, okay, thank you. Like that. See, they are always your fallback plan. But first month, one of my friend came to me, and 9:30 onwards we started working. So वो महीना निकल गया. So the thing is,
Very
we
good.
have been doing. Then I told ma'am also, ma'am, it's been 4 months now. We have all the 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. all the slots full. I have patients for all the slots. So this started happening. But obviously, when you are a new practitioner, it won't happen like abhi it has started and everybody has started only coming to you and you don't have vacancy, like no free time. It won't happen. It will be like ups and downs. And so there will be times like in now there is a festival time, the patients will drop. There is something. So all this we started experiencing. So I only had one assistant of mine. So from 5 o'clock one day, someday, I don't know, we were sitting. So my focus and everything was so much positive that
Mhm.
I had a method of not sitting idle. See, you are in that premise and you want that premise and the profession of yours to flourish. Then you must do every second, you must invest in getting it better. You can't just हाथ पे हाथ धर के बैठो and things should happen. It won't happen with you. It would never happen. You have to do some efforts. So with all the other those days I used to do a dental checkup and something school mein jao and do something. So the media and social media and everything wasn't there those days. So I was in spite of doing all that, we had no patients. From 5 o'clock, I was just sitting like that. And somebody you appoint for 5, he doesn't turn up. Some 6 o'clock also doesn't turn. So we are sitting. And I told him, I have a practice, as I told you, that abhi patient aaya, silver filling hai. So what you will do? Keep it ready. So all those things were also done. So there was a silence because there was nothing to be done in spite of doing everything. So then, even if he is my staff, you know what he said? uh, कि सर अपना क्लिनिक ना थोड़ा बाहर के बाजू में होना चाहिए था ताकि थोड़ा अपना मतलब दिखे वगैरह वगैरह. I said, how does it matter? Like I don't think it would matter. मुझे मन में मैं ये बोल रहा था. मैं चुप रहा. फिर जैसे ही देखा एक 7 साढ़े 7 बजे हैं. So probably we had spent around 8 9 months there already, or a year or something. So this is a incidence of that. Suddenly we saw so many patients, all those who had not come has also come, and suddenly we were visited 10:30. So then I was looking at him, see how life, changes with this thing, that you got to have a positive intent. Of course, you got to work on your weaknesses, your strengths, and you got to be very, very critical analyst of your own. Without that, things won't happen. You can't be reluctant, or you can't be casual about things. I was very, very strict. As I said, I am now little less strict in the office because it adds up a pressure here. After some
Ah,
time, all this I have learned. It's been a journey that you start as a fresh, and you accomplish some good, as you said, time in the profession, and that is the time we have to take it ahead now.
wow, very nice story, sir. And in fact, sir, I would really want to ask you, like, everybody faces this down period in their life. So, what did you do to have that confidence to continue and not feel depressed about it, or not feel sad about it? Because everybody faces some point in their the clinical time that we are having no patience. So either they just close the setup and then go off, or they take up some other job and all those things. So how did you keep yourself motivated for that?
See, there are two aspects on this. One is the financial aspect of a business, what we are doing. And another thing is your work is your passion. It's that way with me. My work is I'm totally passionate about the work I do. Like the dentistry I do, I'm totally passionate about it. So when I'm doing, nothing is more important that that work for myself. More than patient, it is for myself. So that particular aspect is there, and another aspect is a financial aspect. So initially, when I started, obviously the financial aspect wasn't that much in frame. So slowly I started. So there have been a drops, obviously, as you are asking. So there have been two kind of situations, I can say, that every time I'm doing a root canal, there could be some issues and small failures, and downfalls are there. So I had never given myself any other option than success. I'm kind of a motivated inside so much that I have never given myself any option. So that has been the first thing what I have done. That uh, the background with which I come, family, I have kept very high targets for myself. But at the same time, I have not kind of I can say scared of falling. I'm not scared of falling. I'm not scared of failures. But I've kept very high targets for myself. As in, as I told you, initially, if I have started, I want to see all my appointments full. You know, it's a difficult target to achieve in first 4 months for a setup. So I have done some tremendously different things. I did not. First thing about financial aspect is I did not rent out a shop which is in the more prime area. Okay, I'm telling you something which I don't know how it is relevant. You can give me your frank opinion. But I started it which is inside, little bit inside, so I don't have to pay too much of rent. Because see, if you come in the front area, the visibility we say is more. Okay, but rent also is more. So I was inside, so the rent is less. To be very frank with you, 3,700 was my rent when I started. Now that 3,700 and other electricity bills and everything would be fine. So the start only is not too harsh on my pocket, and it goes on for 11 months, and 2 3 years I was on rent for good 8 years. Then I purchased my own shop. So as I started with less rent, it was always easy on my pocket. So if then if I had started with some 15,000, you imagine, then it is difficult. It is very difficult. Then it goes on increasing, and you are always under that peer pressure. So this is the first thing I did. Now, second thing about my profession, this was about financial aspect. So you would not invest too much, so that I had not invested in a lot of furniture. You get my point. So from investment point of view, I had kept it always low. I
Hmm,
wanted
hmm,
people to come to me on my merits. See,
hmm,
in today's world, this is not relevant. But I'm telling you what I did.
hmm.
I wanted people to meet me, talk to me, get treated by me, and then decide whether they want to come with their family to me. I did not start because I have a nice board, nice lighting. I did not even had a front door. You could directly see my waiting area. No air condition. So I started with that. Basic chairs, basic one chair, minimum investment. I started with that. What people want is the dental treatment. So I had all the things, basic equipments to treat the basic. So that is how I started. So it was little easy on my pocket to achieve the monthly break even was easy. And the second part was I was always confident that I would attract patients by my work, because I had worked somewhere and some experience and the tremendous confidence in me. So I was confident that I will be able to attract patients for the treatment on my own merits. So that I was always confident. So I did not uh, have other things for that. On the second patient who visited my clinic told me, she walked in the office and said, I want 15,000 rupees ka bill. What is your cut in that? Give me the bill. I folded my hands and I told her that I don't want to be known for this thing. And I would never do it. Today also, I don't do it anything like this. So if you have any dental issue, you can show me. I will give you the best advice for that. But for these reasons, I am not. So you have to create your own brand in a way. So from that time only, I am creating my brand. So I am taking care of my brand, because as I told you, I had a bigger targets. The bigger target is to create my brand. If people say, oh Che, you've been to SK's dental clinic, so that's a standard. So I want to keep that standard for myself in the market. See, because every people are connected. People will meet each other, talk to each other. You don't know, the first patient and the 10th patient could be knowing each other. So everybody is connected and they spread out your name in market. So the downfalls, if you are talking about, they have been there in terms of uh, little bit of work and you feel disappointed, but the next day you have to go. My parents and my family, my wife, everybody helps me in keeping myself in good position. I had done a blunder with one of my patients wherein they had faced a lot of problems. And the patient never blamed me, but I was myself only not happy with my treatment. And I was really taken in that. And if you go sad and suddenly that situation takes you down very badly. So that had happened with me with one of my case. That patient is still my patient. Whole family comes to me like anything. They support me like anything. But that situation had happened to me. Now my father that time told me that, Sameer, you are in that zone where now you are not able to concentrate on anything. Okay. Tell me one thing. This is the one patient, but there are so many other patients who knock your door because they want you to treat. Tell me what is their fault that you cannot treat them with your 100% mental this thing health. So that particular thing struck me, that yes, I have to be in the good psychological phase always. Otherwise it is not good on the other patients. Like the Sachin Tendulkar thing, he says that one ball you edge and it goes to the slip, he drops the catch, but your heart has almost come out with that ball. But by the time that ball is going to the other end, you have to be completely relaxed and ready 100% for the next ball. So it is like that. We have to
Hmm.
have a good believe in yourself. Critical analysis is must, but you cannot go down with this because you have been given that job. There are so
Hmm.
many patients every now and then I treat them, I relieve their pain or do talk to them, and they give me so much overwhelming response that, doctor, thank you for being there or something like that. So you have to be there for everybody. Some people will never appreciate you or criticize you. Things happens, but that is the psychological part. Another thing about failure is, or the downfall is, after finishing 12 years of my practice, suddenly patients stopped coming to me. Suddenly I realized that there are no patients in the clinic, new patients, and
Okay.
whoever are coming are not getting the treatment done. Conversion rate has my conversion rate and success rate and everything of my own analysis is 95%. So if I see 900 patients, 95 will get treated. If I do
Yes.
100 fillings, 95 are perfect. So
Yes, that's
this
so true.
this kind of
I have
a
seen that when I worked there.
so this has been my this thing, and suddenly in 2018, after the demonetization, we realized that
Hmm.
all the people in our or in our area or whatever have stopped coming to us. That had gone down drastically.
Oh
Maybe
God.
it did not affect my financial this thing by that time, but it had stopped because uh, and we could not figure out the reason for it.
Okay.
And that is the time when you have to be humble, you have to
Hmm.
be grounded. So I was
Hmm.
sitting, and this team with which I'm working, I'm already working with them for 12 years, you understand. So it's been a good time I'm working with them. But still, they would not upfront tell you, like your mother would tell you, no, ये क्या कर रही है
Yes.
ना?
Yes.
Your husband
Huh.
would tell you, or your kids, or your very close people will not think about what you think about that statement, but they'll
Huh.
directly throw that statement at you. So these guys never did that way, okay?
Hmm.
But then I was sitting in the waiting, and I don't know when I was sitting in the waiting before that, because it would be always full. Sitting will be all when I would go and sit in the waiting area. So I was sitting in the waiting area, and I was saying, यार क्या चल रहा है, मतलब आप लोग ही कुछ बताओ अभी, what is happening, like. So everybody started sharing. The moment I was open up for suggestions, see,
Hmm.
they are not very highly educated people. The staff, what educated they will be, 10th, 11th, or something like that, or at the most graduation. But they are so wise people. They did not suggest me, or did not. They went along with me. They did not leave me. But the moment they realized that he is now actually ready to take such suggestions, sometimes people say, but that doesn't mean. Then they actually understood ki nahi, nahi, now is the time when we have to. So then they started sharing that, sir, your root canal charges, now what you're doing, no new experiment what you have done, this is the problem. People are getting that this feel that you are suddenly high, so people are suddenly stopped with you and suddenly trying to go for other options. Then there is a dentist next door, her charges are suddenly like that. So although you are not cheating with people, but there is an illusion that you're doing that. Okay. And after demonetizations, we were quite strict with payment. We were
Huh. Huh.
insisting, no, you have to pay. So it was sounding all kind of a rough to people. People were not happy. You have to ask for money, but there is a subtle way of doing it. So if it becomes too harsh, people don't like. If I'm the vendor and you've come to take the services, but there is a polite way of handling the payment part. It is
Correct.
my right
Correct.
to take the payment. करेक्ट,
Hmm.
मैंने काम किया तो मेरा हक है ना, पैसा दो.
Huh.
बट वो
Huh.
उसको मांगने का भी तरीके में थोड़ा थोड़ा गलतियां हो रही थी, बिकॉज वी हैड बिकम डेस्परेट, बिकॉज द सिचुएशंस वेर सच. Demonetization, difficult times, everybody was asking for payment without that. So that was a tough time for everybody. But as a doctor, as a caring profession, we have to be good. And that phase goes na, जैसा rolling start होता है, but that harshness and that little rough way of handling the payment part was damaging us. So we realized these two aspects, then we created all that weak points, we eliminated. Now this was on one point. Another point was your social media. One of my friend had come to me, and she had Google reviewed me. कि Sameer is a good this thing and 5-star rating. That was the only Google rating I had by that time. By 2018, I have started in 2005 and had only one Google rating. And I said, everybody in this world now Google search करता है, rating देखता है और उसके बाद ही वो लोग आते हैं. So the new generation would not come to you unless you have some social media presence. Then I actively started. There were so many patients of mine and friends I knew that who would I have treated also, and they would give me good ratings. Then I extended myself to them and that said that you review me. Then I started working on that. Then I had my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, now Instagram
Now
and
you are very
Reels and
active on social
everything.
media.
now now we have some, no, I'm not very active. We have some presence. See, it's important to have this presence. That is not going to sustain the patient, but unless that is there, that one tick is not there. If patients want to come to you, it is not there. Then I started with the documentation and started uploading my work on my own YouTube channel. So now the thing is such that we have to, now we are reopening in Ganpati. So one day on 6th we will reopen. 6th full day only kept to arrange all the appointments. We cannot work. We have so much of work that we have to keep one day spare. Everybody will come, staff will come, keep things, check everything. We cannot immediately start. So you get my point. Now we have so much of work
Okay.
that we don't get time to teach them brushing technique video. We may not get that time. In 3-chair practice also, separate reception, separate waiting also, we say that we go open up their phone, show them our YouTube channel, they download it, go home and watch. We tell them few tips. So what this social media is doing, the YouTube and all the information what we have put up on the platforms, it is helping us teach them better. And that's a good feel also because they can share, अरे मैंने एक अच्छा ये देखा, तुम भी देखो, that way. So you have suddenly good presence and lot of time is saved because things are documented. Somebody has a fractured tooth. अभी मैं कितना बताएगा उसमें एक लिमिट है. But they go on my YouTube channel and they see somebody's tooth being treated the same way and they can see the results. They get some feel about it now, and they see now the beautifully everybody has said so many nice things about me and my staff and Google reviews. So all that is there, so that helps. So these are the difficult times. So I was really in shock when I realized कि 12 साल after you stay on peak, suddenly there is such a downfall. But that teaches you, and you learn from that. You have to be patient.
That's actually very eye-opening kind of story, sir. Because everybody feels that एक बार click हो गया तो फिर success ही success है. There's no downfall. But ऐसा नहीं है. It's a constant
It's a
upgradation or constant thing which you have to take care, nurture करना पड़ता है जैसे हम बच्चे को nurture करते हैं. तो हर एक platform में हर एक step में we have to see how we are performing, how our staff is performing. So very nice story, sir. In fact, sir, as you told me that you had a very humble start. But I know right now when I was working also at that time also and now also, you have constantly upgraded. Like I name anything. OPG you have RVG, you have portable radio at that time when I was working. How did you upgrade, and according to you, what is the right time to upgrade, sir?
See, very good question actually. So there is always a dilemma कि वो बाजू वाले ने एक्सरे ले लिया तो मैं कब लूंगा, that way. So I have been very very simple, in all this. For first 12 years, as I told you, I never thought of implants. कि नहीं नहीं वो तो अपने लिए है ही नहीं, अपना सिंपल प्रैक्टिस करो, but somebody has come to you, you keep yourself open and understand. तो वो बोला नहीं नहीं सर आपका इतना अच्छा प्रैक्टिस है, आप इम्प्लांट कोर्स के लिए आओ. So I went for that course. So I have decided in my life that I would never do anything or never buy anything unless I'm going to use it next day. So after some time, you realize that there is a need for this. For example, the RVG. वो एक्सरे निकालने के बाद वो उधर जाता है, फिर उसके बाद वो करेगा, फिर उसके बाद उसका अच्छा आएगा या नहीं आएगा वो डेवलप करने के बाद, तो फिर वो आके मैं देखूंगा, ये सब में एक नहीं तो भी 4 मिनट 3 मिनट जाता है इजीली. Then I realized, yeah, it is not working. So whatever you are earning, you have to, because in 1 second, the on RVG the things are seen, correct? And as you talked about the OPG, now there is a nice again a story for that. In this particular COVID time, we were with one shop only, okay, and we had 3 chair practice even in one shop because it's a big shop. एंड मैं बोला अभी ये एक चेयर जो एडिशनल है, एक केबिन में 2 चेयर था और एक केबिन में एक ही चेयर. तो एक केबिन में जहाँ 2 चेयर था, मैं बोला ये चेयर दिस इज नॉट you being utilized, so let's pack it up. And I was doing one photography this thing, so I'm always following my passion. So I did that course because I wanted to learn and do photography. So for that photographic diffusers, no, there are big stands to be accommodated in my office. I removed one dental chair. Can you imagine a practitioner who is
Oh
completing
God.
17 years? I'm following my heart. I said वो चेयर नहीं चाहिए मुझको, निकाल दो उसको, क्योंकि वो मुझे डिफ्यूजर रखना है. जितना भी मैं प्रैक्टिस, वैसे भी पेशेंट्स कम है, there are less patients here. So let's now do that and have that diffuser, and packed up the chair and kept it on the this thing storage. And after that, COVID started resolving, and people started coming to us, and so much so that really there was no space in the waiting area, and we were not taking patients in the waiting area because of COVID protocols and everything. And I said, I saw one uncle one day, just I saw him that yeah, he's there. And after some time I started working inside, and he did not come. So I said, अरे वो एक अंकल आए थे, वो तो अंदर मैंने देखा ही नहीं उनको. तो सर इतना पेशेंट्स थे, वो आधा एक घंटा बैठ के चले गए. I said, "Yeah, what is happening? Now you have so much of crowd and you are not able to accommodate. It's just a failure on your part." So I said, and at the same time, there was an opportunity that neighboring shop, they wanted, वो बोला मुझे कि सर आप ले लो ना, आपके इसमें वो हो जाएगा. I said, चलो let's expand. Now उसका रेंट कैसे निकलेगा, इसीलिए OPG मशीन ले. That OPG machine thing, when I took, I only had this thought कि चलो उसके इसमें मेरा खर्चा निकल जाएगा and all that. But now it is so much of a benefit that me and my team, we keep everything ready. That OPG X-ray is taken, that has gone in the patient's phone also, emailed to us. Patient is seeing that on the phone, and then after treating my routine case, I come for this consultation and only stand there for 2 minutes and explain them and again go back. So it's a kind of a complete time saver. So we can actually now keep our clinic closed for 5 days and do the same number of patients and earn better also. Because पहले क्या होता था, patient would go somewhere else in the OPG center and get it done. Then we call them, अरे वो email भेजो, and all that would happen. So because the technology now is with me, so I have not taken technology decisions because they are financial decisions also.
Yes.
If there is no need, if there is no need, I have not taken that. I have done implants, but with the confidence that now I have to start with my implant practice. I would do implant on my own. So those trainers said that we will guide you. I said, no, I am already a senior practitioner. You will stand there. If I ask you a question, then you will guide me. I know if I have learned, I want to do it next day. I don't want anybody, any support. Well, I want to do it myself. So all the upgradations I have done, I have thoughtfully learned it and learned it from the best. Whatever I thought is the best. ऐसे ही नहीं, कैजुअल नहीं किया. आई हैव स्टडीड प्रॉपरली कि अगर ये कोर्स करना है तो कहाँ से करना है. देयर इज अ कंसेप्ट ऑफ बायोमिमिकिंग डेंटिस्ट्री. So I have gone to Tamil Nadu, Karur, to learn that course. But
Oh,
the way
nice.
I have learned it, beautiful it is. See, everybody would see comforts, no? But if you want to really learn from the best and you have funds for that, and I have really taken my family along. So it's been a family tour. I've spent a lot over there, but it was all paid off because all these years then from 2018, I have learned, and that has been the last course I have done for a good amount of time. I have not done any other upgradations. Now that is because now we have a family, we have a lot of other commitments. So I'm not forcing again. There will be time when I can do some more advanced. There is so many things in my mind that I can do, but now I have not done it for last 4 years because I know financially it won't be good, and maybe I will not be in a position to execute because there is a family thing, additional people in family needs support. So there are phases. So in that phase I would not forcefully do because the upgradation is needed, but there was a time when every 4 months I would do upgradation. Whatever money I will get, I will put in the learning thing or taking things because that is the time for it. So you have to understand that time and don't do a forceful decisions. You decide for yourself, you know, and don't spend money unnecessarily. I don't like just uh, picking up few things and they are lying in the office and you're not using it. That is not a wise decision. So when I do anything or add any value addition, it has to pay for it because it's a business also. So that way I have upgraded. It has to be thoughtful. It cannot be because somebody is doing, you are doing. It cannot be like that, and it has to pay you also. So there could be so many courses which can only tell you how to build up incisal one third of a tooth. There could be, you can spend lakhs of rupees to learn only that also, but is it going to be a value addition in my profession? It's not going to be. I cannot charge 15,000 rupees to build up that in my practice. At least I can't charge that. Then it is not going to pay me. Or someday in my career, when that won't make any difference for me, and I do one patient and go home, and whatever that pay me or don't pay me doesn't matter to me, that time I will learn. So you've got to have that fund because you have to run a house and there is one more office. You have to run your office. So you cannot take only emotional decisions, कि नहीं नहीं मुझे ये करना है. So there has to be a balance of doing things, but upgradation is must. Without that, it is impossible.
Huh.
So let me tell you about a story about when is the right time or kind of a thing. So absolute first times of my practice, and I would do a composite, and I realized that कुछ तो इसमें मजा नहीं आ रहा है, बराबर नहीं हुआ है, kind of and then at one point of time my patient once said, the doctor, I don't think it is looking perfect, young female. So she said, doctor, this is not perfect, like, और perfect नहीं हो सकता क्या? I said, yes यार, patients also saying that, then this is not the right thing. And you have to be honest to yourself. If I try to convince her there that नहीं नहीं ये तो बराबर है, इतना ही होता है, या kind of a thing, it is not good. You have to be honest. Then I said, no, no, ma'am, it is absolutely right. What you're saying is absolutely right. Is it not perfect? And really, I told her that I don't know, ma'am, how to make it perfect than this. So I will have to learn. So I went for courses, I learned. But by that time, there was a mentality that नहीं नहीं courses versus कुछ कर नहीं सकते, पैसे नहीं है, पहले तो practice set करो फिर. So that kind of a mentality was earlier there. Now professionals learn everything and then they get into the practice because there is so much of a information sharing in the world. But those days it was like that, and you have to be honest. So I have been honest to myself that kuch bhi nahi aa raha hai, then you have to find right people and learn. Without that, you cannot proceed. So I work in magnification now, so it is basic. So with the youngsters who are starting now, see, there's a benchmark which is already set, but they cannot get pressurized by that. They cannot get pressure. Now a dentist like me, they will have a neighboring dentist who has everything, OPG, everything, everything, everything. all
They'll
the
start with
facilities,
everything.
these all the, they probably will not be able to start with everything. But even if today you make me go somewhere and start my practice from zero, I will still follow the same basic principles which I follow. Be honest to yourself. Don't be too harsh with yourself. You be your own critical analyst. Everybody used to ask me, there are so many dentists around you. Abhi kya karoge? For 2 days, I had insecurity. But after then, I said, ki, Are, how I can be? I'm already good. Then I have to only compete with myself to make myself even better. I cannot compete with anybody else. Every two individuals are different. If he is doing a good practice, let him do. I will do what is good for me. And I will only concentrate on my practice. I don't concentrate on anybody else's practice कि उसने क्या किया, उसने उसके पास वो पेशेंट चला गया क्या, ये हुआ क्या. I don't have anything about it. I only concentrate on my practice and I compete with myself. Did I do my job better than I did yesterday, or did I overcome one small mistake which I used to do in this procedure? All that matters to me is this. And today also it will matter to me. And anywhere I start from zero, this is the thing what will matter to me.
That relieves our stress also, sir. Like हम अगर
Absolutely.
सोचते रहेंगे या कि कंपेयर करते रहेंगे, it's very difficult. We just have to fight with ourselves, compete with ourselves, and improve with every patient, as you said.
Yes.
Sir, any like you had shared with us so many things, but any particular thing as which you would like to change, go back and change it? Any mistake which you felt that okay, next time if I get a chance, I'll change it. What will that be?
Uh, there is no such thing. Actually, I've learned from all my mistakes. There have been mistakes which you have done uh, under stress. That you have been loud to somebody. These things cannot be this thing. It cannot be taken back. And but if given an opportunity, I would still today would like to go back to those situations where I've got angry on somebody, or behaved stupidly. But these things happen. See, I started as a only a 23-year-old boy who have a lot of dreams but don't know how to achieve those dreams. Only had some basic ethics and principles. So I've learned a way. If I have been harsh with somebody, those are the things which doesn't go with my nature. But you be silent. Silent people also do get angry sometimes, and they don't like more than anybody else. They only don't like it after that next moment. They only feel sorry about
Correct.
it. So only,
Yes.
if you ask me, Lakshmi, these are the only these things which I would like to go back, and I would have, it would have been better if I had not done because I myself feel ashamed of of those. But situations are such that there are so many pressures over you, and with those I also have learned. I've learned to handle pressures. I'm a perfectionist in the house, in the clinic only. Huh? Otherwise, I'm not a perfectionist. In the
I
clinic, I
was
want
going to ask
everything,
that.
everything perfect.
In the
I'm
clinic,
a
you are
very
like
lazy person.
perfectionist.
Otherwise, I'm a very in the clinic. I want everything perfectly. But there is a
Yes.
limit. The interpersonal relationships you have to understand. You can't be, somebody is doing same mistake. Your staff basically who is working along with. They are your hands. They are your extensions. They see my
Yes.
face. I just say one word, they bring 10 things. They know there are 10 things needed with this one word. So now that kind of a rapport you have to build. I save time. I don't like I used to, in my younger age, I used to see वो क्या था उसमें trauma center दिखाते थे. The operations which would be done in
हाँ
trauma
हाँ.
center. So usme na, I would see that second is important. Even a fraction of second is important. You cannot waste time. I said, no, this is something which I want to do in my clinic. I should be very, very fast, you know, and I cannot waste a single second in the clinic. because nobody likes to keep the mouth open for long and अपना dentist काम करते जा रहा है कर रहा है. So you have to be fast, you have to be quick, and you have to be best. So
Yes.
that way so it's okay, मिस गलतियां हुई हैं, but these are the only things. I have, so इसमें क्या होता है कि you could be too much pushy to your staff sometimes. So keeping that nice environment and still achieving, they cannot be relaxed, because there is a balance between it. Sometimes if I ask for something, they should understand the intensity of it. They cannot be casual at that moment, otherwise there's no point of having this professional thing. They're casual about the profession, but at the same time it should not stress or strain their brain. So this is a very difficult thing to achieve, but I have been fortunate that, so you can be very very angry at somebody, sometimes it can happen, but then
Yes.
they have also reciprocated well, and I have also, then you take care of each other. It's basically a family, after some time. So these are the only things which I feel I could have, but otherwise everything is
But
going
I
on
think
well, and we're learning.
yes, and I think, sir, irrespective of that, like the behavior you're telling me, your employees stay with you for so long. I remember, I mean, the associates which I worked with, I think they are still there. So
Yeah,
it's
everybody is good.
yes. So like they will shift after marriage or after something, but majority everybody is there with you. So I think they don't mind it because you take care of them so well. It's like, as you said, it's like your family. It's not your staff. It's not employees. It's your family. They share their problems with you. So that is also important when we hire people, and how we treat them is important.
We all are equal, basically. You have to treat everybody equally, and there is a thin line which everybody has to maintain. Even I have to maintain a thin line between me and my junior doctors, and even the staff, and they also have to. And there are situations wherein sometimes I tell my reception, अरे तू जरा गलत बोल रही है मेरे साथ, kind of होता है ऐसे. These
हाँ.
things happen, and now this is the thing you want. My daughter is here, so
Awesome.
my
Hi.
son.
Hi. Such cute family, sir. She's very cute. Both are
So
cute.
say hi.
Hi.
Say hi. Hi.
Oh, wow. How
Say
old are they,
hi.
sir?
Hi.
He
Hi.
is 10 now, he's going to be 10, and she's 2.5. So he's 9.5,
Oh,
2.5.
cute. Very
जा,
cute.
आता तुम्ही जरा जा अजून तिचे काही चल
Okay,
बोल.
okay, understood. So the last question, sir, any tips for the young graduates?
Yes. See, basically, you have to set your dreams well. Okay. So you should know what are your capabilities, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses.
Hmm.
And she's repeating after
She's
me,
repeating
Lakshmi.
what you're saying.
Don't.
Yes.
She's repeating. She has gone in that zone. उसको गेस्ट
वो
उसको गेस्ट अपीयरेंस में ला. मेरे को
हाँ
2 मिनिट
बेस्ट है.
लगेगा अभी. हाँ, ये सब कट कर देना.
नो
प्रियंका
प्रॉब्लेम, नो
2 मिनिटं तू थांब फक्त. झालं ते माझं आता. लास्ट क्वेश्चन आहे. ती माझ्या नंतर रिपीट करते.
प्रॉब्लेम.
आता तुम्हाला परत बाहेरच जावं लागतं. For tips for youngsters would be, you understand what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and work on it. Like in and experiment. Experimenting is also important. You will not know unless you do something. So, and there are some needs which you have to do. Like in my office now, I don't do so many root canals. Maybe sometimes I do a root canal treatment, but most of the time I'm doing more of a consulting of all the cases which comes to me, and do more of implant treatment, restorative treatment, because I like to do that more. But I have spent 18 years and done some things for me so that I can be in this position. I have balanced work life balance has also been very important. My mentor told me, "What do you like to do on Sundays?" I said, "Sunday I relax, and don't do anything." Then she said, "Then don't open your clinic on Sundays, because once patients start getting used to you being on Sundays, then suddenly you can't
Yes.
stop."
It's
So
difficult, sir.
what? So
I have done that
it's
mistake.
very, yeah, but it's very simple thing
Hmm.
and very difficult. So earlier, when I was young, I had no work to do on Sundays. Friends के साथ घूमेंगे तो every कितना करेंगे? So Sunday would be I had all the opportunity, and the requirement was such that you could earn, but Dr. Samida Gandhi told me that तू देख ऐसा करना चाहिए. So I said, yeah, this is very important, that if I want to keep myself free, and honestly, I'm a lazy person, so I like to relax and chill more. But there was this thing is, you have to understand that, take right steps. So I worked on Sundays, but when I would do a camp or something, otherwise keep myself. So that could be something else for you. So take those right steps. Don't be harsh on yourself and compete with yourself. Basically, word of mouth is the best way uh, you can retain and grow and build your practice. It is said that 20% of your patients would give you 80% of the earning,
Hmm.
and the another 80% of the patients give you 20% of your earning. So you have to concentrate on those 20%. For me to concentrate on those 20%, I got to be professional in time management, practice management. All those things are very important. So if you take my appointment for 5 o'clock, that one chair should be free, one staff should be free, one doctor should be free, who is aware of the situation, and you can start at 5 o'clock. That means a lot. Even after a good practice and good name, this thing is very important in my office. If you take an appointment, that appointment time has to be followed by everybody, even patients. And I am fortunate that all my patients follow. Almost 95% of all my patients follow the time. So for all the good things to happen, you have to start early, start that practice early. As I did reject my patient's request that just give me bill and take your commission, that was a futuristic decision, because I did not wish to be known for such thing. Otherwise, I will be known for those things, that everybody will come to me and just get. I wanted to work, so that way.
It's a superb tip, sir. Thank you so much. I am so sure that my listeners would love it. Thank you so much for coming into our show. We will definitely have future conversations also, sir. There's a lot to ask.
Lovely. It would be great. And thank you for having me. And it was really pleasure talking to you, which is otherwise also fantastic talking to you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
sir. Thank you.